Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria. Welcome to my channel. This is our weekly reading for the week of February 21st through the 27th, 2022. Let's see what advice, guidance, God, Spirit, the universe has for us for this last full week of February 2022. Okay, so for this week's reading, I am using the Alice Tarot, and then I will pull a couple oracle cards from the Mirror of Mama Shamana deck, and that is a more abstract deck. It has picture cards and then a phrase card, if you're familiar with my use of that deck. Okay, so let's lay out our mini cross spread for this week. Ooh, almost lost a card on the floor there. Okay. There's an energy of a shift of belief. So this could be hugely impactful for some of you out there, but it doesn't feel like it's unexpected. It feels like it's something we've been contemplating. So a shift in belief on a grander scale. And for some, it's just changing your opinion about something. So a little less dramatic, but it can be quite dramatic for some. It can shift the course of your life down the road. But I also feel it will lift the weight of some stress because of the opinion, I want to say misinformed idea about something. So some information may come in for some that helps you change your view and opinion of something. Or again, it could be bigger, like a big shift in your belief system, whether it's, personal, political, spiritual, however it will play out for you. But it does feel like it lifts a weight of burden and stress. So it's good, but it could be a little bit shocking for some, depending on how big this is in your life. Okay, so let's get to the card. So the first card we have is the card that represents us or the viewer this week. And we have the Hierophant. Of course, we have our caterpillar here, Alice meeting the caterpillar. And when I've used this deck before, I think this card has come up because this is one of my favorite quotes from Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. And I believe it's the caterpillar who says it to her. He says, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will do." And I feel that's reflective of this letting go of a belief or an opinion or a misinformed, and I want to say it that way, idea. And that implies some information comes for some of us that helps this shift. We've been stuck on a path or an idea or a belief, right? But we feel lost. And so it's a shift in direction. We still may not know exactly where we're going, but it's opening ourselves up to whatever possible roads are out there. Now, this is the Hierophant energy, so it's tapping into our spiritual guidance. So it can very much play out religiously and spiritually for many of us, whether it's a huge thing or it's a small thing and a view and opinion about something, that misinformed bit of information that we've held on to. But it will also shift us internally, even if it's something physical and even seemingly minor. It will down the road, depending on what road we choose, shift us spiritually. Okay. Now, laying across the Hierophant card in our environment, and this very much feels like energy we are projecting outwards. So this is us. This is the environment, the energy we're pushing out as we make this shift, this change of view, opinion, belief, etc. 10 of Swords. I'll hold that close. So you can see it's a plate full of food that's been eaten. We're done chewing on something. We're done chewing on this belief, this opinion, etc. We've eaten what we can from it, and it's time to move on from it. It's time to find those other roads. Now, that doesn't mean for some it's like you completely drop whatever your belief was before, or your opinion or view or whatever was totally wrong. But it's time for us to stand up from the table, say thank you, appreciate what's been offered and what we have consumed from this, and move on. Okay. Now that can play out dramatically for some. It could be something you just decide within yourself and other people don't notice. Okay. Now, crowning the reading in the mind position, we have the 9 of Wands. And here we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum. In our mind, this is sort of the, forget what I said at the beginning of the reading, but where we've been contemplating this shift of belief. Like, it's not new to us. It's something that's been building. Like, it's the twins, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We've been discussing this within ourselves. This may also be how, for those for whom this is about a piece of misinformed information you've gotten that has formed this opinion and you realize you've been wrong, or your opinion is wrong because you didn't have all the information, that this is how information comes. Like, I want to say some people overhear people talking, or you get a bit of a conversation, even a retelling of a conversation by someone else that provides you those extra pieces of information. And it's unknowingly by whoever you hear this from or overhear this from. Now, 9 of Wands is kind of a card of perseverance, and it's in the mind position. Like, we've worked through this, and there's been a necessity of this process. So it's not for naught, right? And I get the energy of like, it's time for this shift. It's time for this spiritual shift that forces us to step up from a table we've been eating at and walk away, whether that's completely walk away or you come back and have a meal there occasionally. Okay. Now, below in our physical realm, we have the 8 of Wands. Now, 8 of Wands can also be about information. I love how there are crossroads here, or street signs, road signs, right? What road are we going to choose? This is a card of swiftness. So whatever road we choose, the transition will be very swift to us. Like, so the change in belief, the reformulating our ideas from the information we get, or the change of opinion, however it comes about, it'll be like quick. But again, it's been brewing. It's not a surprise to us. It's just that final decision it's made and done, right? That's 10 of Swords energy. It's made and done. And it's all, this is, the Hierophant is our only major here. It's all for our spiritual path, whether this is a spiritual belief, opinion, or something in the physical world. Choose your road. Choose your path. I feel that's important to say. Choose your path. Time to choose your path, whether it incorporates your past paths or not. Okay. Now, in the past position, we have the 6 of Wands. And here we have Alice here, and the cards are all flying about her. 6 of Wands is a card of success, though. Success, victory, and triumph. And it's in the past position. And I don't normally get this with this card, but I feel we're at a stage of completion. And that is also shown in that 10 of Swords, our environment, but also the energy I feel we're pushing out into the world, putting into our environment. We've been successful on this path, spiritual path, holding this opinion, holding these ideas and beliefs up to now. But now it's time for, 10 of Swords. Normally it's the guy lying there with 10 swords in his back. It's time for that big change. It's time for, you could call this like a new stage of spiritual awakening if you want to use kind of the common new agey terms. It's that type of thing. But it's very much about us, the individual choosing the next road, the next path, not someone else telling us what to do, right? We are the Hierophant. Okay, the future card here is the 4 of Swords. And this is where it's like this change, this new road, whatever it is going to be much less stressful, conflicting, especially within our minds, then not making this change and shift and taking this new road. So it leads to greater inner peace in physical life, but definitely also in our each individual spiritual process, wherever you are. Okay. It's subtle but profound. Okay. All right, so now let's do our 2 cards from the Mama Shamana deck. First, we'll do the picture cards. And of course, I do pre-shuffle. Most of you know that. Just do an extra shuffle here. So these are metaphor cards. So it's somewhat, it's very much an abstract reading here. Interesting. Okay, so we have, they're a little bit shiny, this flock of birds going through these bones underneath a piece of earth. And that's just making me think of what a traditional 10 of Swords is. I mean, you kind of get it with all these stones here. Breaking out of what now, because it may not in the past, right? Because in the past, we've been on a successful path. Breaking out of what now could trap us and bringing about the changes and shifts ourselves. Okay, and then let's do our phrase cards. There's nothing on the back. They're just cards with metaphorical phrases. Okay. She collects scraps and slivers, patching them together at random. So that's the phrase. She collects scraps and slivers, patching them together at random. And I'll hold it up with the picture because they are intended to work together. And whatever this means for you, you can meditate on it, journal on it, etc. But what I'm getting, collecting scraps and slivers, is collecting where we have been on this path, the spiritual path, holding this opinion, these viewpoints, etc. Taking what has led each of us to this, you could say, successful point, or gathering up our successes, gathering up the things we've learned or the skills we've taken on, because this could play out very practically, say in career, gathering them up and patching them together in what to others may seem like a random way. Picking a path to others may think like, oh, that's random. Why did you change your mind on that? Why are you going down this spiritual path? Why are you doing this instead? It may seem random to others, but we're patching things together, following our inner spiritual guidance, or however that plays out for you. Okay. This is a pretty cool reading for this week. All right, that is our weekly reading for, again, February 21st through the 27th, 2022. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and I'll see you back here soon.